Good morning children and welcome back to class 9 chemistry class. Today in continuation with the chapter atoms and molecules, we are with the concept that is mole concept. Now this word mole itself is having a very big meaning and very great use there in the chemistry. You know the atoms and the molecules, okay, you can say the particles are insignificant in nature, they are invisible to us. To find out the mass of one particular atom or a molecule or an ion, it was the most difficult task for the scientists. So they wanted some kind of number which could make the calculations very easy, and that particular number was given the name of mole. Avogadro was the scientist who was to be given the salute, and big salute for introducing this concept mole and introducing us with this number mole. Now the main advantage of having this mole in our life is there in the chemical industry, and specifically there where the medicines are being made, because very specific quantities of the chemicals are being added at the time of preparation of the medicines. You could have seen that sometimes it is prescribed by the doctor 0.025 mg, which is a very small quantity of a given chemical. That means very small, less number of particles are participating in the formation of that particular medicine. So this mole is also initially known as the chemist's number, because it was making all the calculations in the chemistry very precise. Now let me take you to this mole concept, which is playing a very important role in our lives, and let's first go, what is this mole? In a very simple word, we can say that mole is a fixed number of particles. You know what are particles? Particles could be atoms, particles could be molecules, they could be ions, which are participating in the formation of compound. Okay, these are very small in size and are not visible to us. Specifically for these kind of particles, we are going for this mole concept, and this mole is having a fixed number of particles, and that number is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. So in other way we can say the group of 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 particles is given the name of one mole. Okay. Otherwise, when we have always in chemistry, carbon 12 is taken as a standard for all the kind of calculation. So one mole, otherwise if I have to define, then I can say the same number of particles, the group of, or you can say the group of same number of particles which are present in 12 grams of carbon 12. Okay, so carbon 12 means one type of carbon which is having the mass of 12 U. One atom is having the mass of 12 U. If it is taken in case of mole, that is considered as 12 gram. So 12 gram of carbon 12 is containing whichever number of particles, that particular group of particles is given the name of mole. So, and that number, if we will be calculating, will definitely be coming out to be equal to this particular number, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. This number is also known as Avogadro number. And then how to represent this one is Na. A should be written as capital. If you will be writing it as Na, then it turns out to be the symbol of sodium. So never write this symbol for Avogadro number or for the mole Na. Write down is as N and A capital in the form of subscript. Okay. Now let's go back to this fixed number. Fixed number, I told you the fixed number of particles could be of the atoms or could be of the molecules or of the ions. If I say I have 1 mole of atoms, so there is nothing to put stress on your mind. It is giving you the clarity that it will definitely be containing 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 atoms. Because we said that 1 mole is equal to fixed number of particles and that number is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. So 1 mole of atom is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. Let's compare it with some mathematical unit which is introduced to you people when you study maths, and that is gross. Gross means 144 articles. Articles could be any. It could be apples, it could be pencil, it could be eraser, it could be papers, it could be anything else. But wherever you will be finding the gross word has been written, that means we are definitely talking about 144 articles. If it is 1 gross of pens, that means 144 pens. 1 gross of papers, that means we are talking about 144 papers. Exactly in the similar way, if it is 1 mole of atoms, that means we are having 6.22 into 10 raised to power 23 atoms. And what if I go for 1 mole of molecules? So this will come out to be exactly the same number of molecules. Okay, if I go for 1 mole of ions, that means we are definitely going to talk about the same number of ions. This hardly matter. Mole word is not at all related to the atoms, molecules and ions. Whatever we are talking about, that is we are least concerned. 1 mole, if it is written anywhere, it is going to definitely tell you about exactly the same number of particles, whether those are the atoms or those are the molecules or those are the ions. Once you are clear with this one, let's move further. And rather going further, let me give you the flashback on the what does a symbol represent. Okay, let's be there. If somewhere H is written and it's your chemistry class going on, then what will you find out from this alphabet which has been written? You will say it is a symbol of hydrogen. Okay, that means it is letting you know about the element we are going to discuss about. Second equation, because nothing is written here, so we will say it is 1 atom of hydrogen. Third thing, because we are clear with the one, because it is telling you about 1 atom, that means we are clear about the atomic mass of this atom, and that is equal to 1U. Besides these 3 information, what else now you can guess with this symbol? That is, it could tell you about 1 mole also. Okay, that means this nothing is written. You can think that it is 1 atom, and you can think that it is a 1 mole of this particular element which is represented by this H when it is written. Okay. Other way, if I have written 1 molecule, if it is 1 mole, then it will also let you know about the mass of 1 mole 2 of hydrogen atoms. This I will let you know how we calculate the mass of 1 mole of hydrogen atoms or any element and its atom. Now, if somewhere H2 is written, now what does this represent? It tells you about 1 molecule. Then this molecule of what? Molecule of hydrogen gas. Then it tells you that it is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen. That means it is telling you about the atomicity. Atomicity is the number of atoms which are constituting this particular molecule. That is also clear. Now third thing is, as you learned about the molecular mass of hydrogen 2. How to calculate the molecular mass? That is, hydrogen, one atom is having the mass of 1 U, then 2 will be having the mass multiplied by 2 and you will be having the mass of 2 U for this molecule. So you calculated the molecular mass too. Now what else could be calculated now, because we have introduced a concept of, mole. So because nothing is written, you understood it could be one molecule, but it could also be 1 mole. If you are considering it 1 mole, that means it tells you about 1 mole of hydrogen gas. And you know 1 mole of hydrogen gas is having so many molecules. Then it will let you know about the mass of 1 mole of hydrogen gas too. Okay. Now what important I am going to tell you, which you have to keep in mind, is if you consider it at 1 molecule, one single molecule which is not visible to you, that means it is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen. But instead of 1 molecule, if I consider is at 1 mole, which is a huge number, it cannot be made up of only 2 atoms of hydrogen. Now you will say it is made up of 2 moles of hydrogen. So that means 1 mole of hydrogen gas is made up of 2 moles of hydrogen atoms. That means huge number of hydrogen atoms are participating in the formation of 1 mole of hydrogen gas. Now look, let me give you one more example. Let's say we have taken N2. Now according to this, you can consider it as 1 mole also, and you can consider it as 1 molecule. If you consider it as 1 molecule, that means it is made up of 2 atoms. That means atomicity of this molecule is 2. It is made up of 2 atoms. But if you consider it as 1 mole, then it is made up of 2 moles of nitrogen atoms. If we are talking about the molecule, then it will tell you about the molecular mass. And you know what is molecular mass? You will add the masses of all the atoms which are present here. The mass of 1 atom of nitrogen is 14, and then 2 atoms together will be making 28 U. Unit is U, that is unified mass. This is very small quantity. This is very less in quantity number. If 28 U is on your hand, you are. But if you have taken it as 1 mole, which is made up of 2 moles of nitrogen atoms, that means now you have to add the masses of 2 moles of nitrogen atom. That is going to be a huge number. And if it is there in your hand, that much quantity, you can very easily feel. So let me give you one more example. H2SO4. If it is 1 molecule, if you are considering it as 1 molecule, that is, it is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen. But if it is considered as 1 mole, that means it is made by combination of 2 moles of hydrogen, 1 mole of sulfur and 4 moles of oxygen. So basic ratio remains the same, in which they are combining and forming the molecule or the moles. If it is a case of moles, then huge quantities are combining together. But if it is a case of molecule, then very small atoms and particles, they are combining together to make particular molecule. But basic ratio remains the same. Let's move further back to the mole concept. Okay. Rather going back, one more thing I would like to introduce here, that is regarding the ionic compounds. If you remember where the ions were involved, like we take calcium bicarbonate. You know, it is made up of calcium ions and bicarbonate ions or hydrogen carbonate ions. So here, how many moles are participating? You, for your convenience, open this. It is 2H, 2 carbon and 6 oxygen. Because this 2 is going to multiply with each of the element which is present inside. So that means in the formation of this particular compound, 1 mole of calcium, 2 moles of hydrogen, 2 moles of carbon and 6 moles of oxygen participated if and if you are considering this particular compound as 1 mole. But if it is 1 molecule, now you must be very clear. That means this molecule, this calcium bicarbonate is made up of 1 atom of calcium, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of carbon and 6 atoms of oxygen. I hope I am clear with this one. If you are not clear, then take one more example. Let's say magnesium carbonate. Okay, this is a very simple compound, magnesium carbonate. If it is a molecule, then it is 1 atom of this, 1 atom of this and 3 atoms of this. But if it is 1 mole, then you can make, then it should be clear to you. That means it is made up of 1 mole of magnesium, 1 mole of carbon and 3 moles of oxygen. Now let's go back to the mole concept where I said 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number. And this could be atoms, this could be molecules and this could be the case of ions. Okay. If I say I have taken 1 mole of atoms, that means it is 6.022 into 10 raised by 23 atoms. Let's make it more specific. 1 mole of sodium atoms is equal to Na. I intentionally wrote sodium, that's to make this thing clear that if you are writing the Avogadro number, A should be capital and sodium should be written as Na. It's small a as a second part. Okay, 1 mole of sodium atom is equal to these many atoms of sodium. Okay, so we have made it more specific. Exactly in the similar way, if I say 1 mole of water, then it is equal to Na number of water molecules. Okay. Now the next thing which has to be taken care of, what is the mass? How to calculate the mass? Here the scientists were very particular. They wanted a number which should have been a magical one, which gives us the mass of 1 mole of atoms numerically to be equal to mass of an atom, but the unit is different. Okay, now what I said, if I say I have taken 1 atom of hydrogen, so the mass of hydrogen is known to you. 1 atom of hydrogen is 1 U. Okay, I think that till this time you must have learned the masses of at least first 20 elements from the periodic table, which is very much required at least in class 9. So 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 atom of hydrogen is having a mass of 1 U. Scientists wanted that if I go for 1 mole of hydrogen, then the numerical value should have remained the same, but unit differs. So that was G. So it was very easy for all the people to learn the masses, only the unit was different. Then they said the mass of 1 mole, it should be calculated because a huge number, it should be calculated in grams, and the number which has been taken, that is a magical number which gives us a value exactly equal to the mass of the atom, but the unit comes out to be G. And then it was given the name of gram atomic mass. That means atomic mass when written in grams is given the name of gram atomic mass. So once the gram atomic mass somewhere has been mentioned, it is very much clear that we are talking about the mass of 1 mole of atom. 1 mole of atom. let's take one more example. If I say I have taken one atom of calcium, that is 40U. Very, very minute, very insignificant, unnoticeable mass is this one, 40U. Okay, but if I take 1 mole of calcium atoms, so because 1 mole, a huge number, that is 6.22 into 10 raised by 23 particles. Okay, these many calcium atoms are going to have exactly the same numerical value, but the unit is going to be 40G. That means 40 grams, and this is gram atomic mass of calcium. That means atomic mass of the calcium has been represented in grams. Okay, and it is definitely going to tell about the mass of 1 mole of calcium atoms. It's a huge quantity as compared to this 40U. If you are having 40 grams of calcium in your hand, you can very easily notice their presence in your hand. But if 40U is somewhere in the hand, you cannot imagine where that particular calcium atom is lying, and the mass where that will not be putting any pressure on your hand. Now, let me tell you one very interesting fact about this number. This seems to be very small once you are writing down in a paper or on a board. But if you are having 6.022 into 10 raised by 23 eggs lying at one place at your home, and the moment a child takes birth and the child is asked to, the baby is asked to start picking up one egg and start putting it there towards the other side without wasting even a single breath. Okay, the child, without wasting a single fraction of moment of the life, will take 70 years to complete this task. It is such a huge number. But in case of atoms, it is not. Simply this number in case of calcium atom is 40 grams. It's a very small quantity as compared to something else. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you people how to go for the gram atomic mass. So that means if molar, this mole, 1 mole mass of 1 mole of atom is also known as molar mass. If I say what is the molar mass of calcium, so it is 40G. Understood? That means 1 mole, mass of 1 mole of calcium. That means 1 mole. 1 mole means these many numbers. That means magnitude should remain the same, or the numerical value should remain the same, but the unit changes, so it comes out to be 40G. So if I take you to the molecules, let's talk about one molecule of carbon dioxide. Let's not take carbon dioxide. Let's go for very simple and a very familiar to you people, that is water. One molecule of water, last time I told you how to calculate the molecular mass. That means you have to add the atomic masses of all the atoms which are present in one particular molecule. So here hydrogen mass is, atom mass is 1U, oxygen is 16U. So in all 1 into 2, because 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 1 atom of oxygen, and overall they are going to make 18. So the mass of one molecule of water is going to be 18U. Okay. So again, let's go for mass of 1 mole of water molecules. That means now we are talking about 1 mole, which is containing 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 molecules, which is a huge number. Okay, so when we will be calculating the mass of these many molecules, then the numerical value is going to remain the same, but it will be written in G. That will come out to be in grams. That means now it is gram molecular mass. That means molecular mass represented in grams is given the name of gram molecular mass. Whenever we talk about the gram molecular mass of any particular compound, that means we are definitely talking about these many molecules, or you can say that comes out to be the molar mass of the compound. Okay, if I say 1 mole of Na2SO4. So first of all, if I have to calculate the mass of one molecule, mole of Na2SO4, then you have to calculate this mass. Okay, sodium is 23, here it is 2 multiplied by 2, sulfur is 32 plus 4 atoms, 4 moles of oxygen, and 1 mole is equal to 16 grams. So we will be calculating, it is 46 plus 32 plus 64. How much is the total? 4 plus 6, 4 plus 2, 6, 12, 1, 4, 3, 7, 7 plus 6, 14 grams. That means 1 mole of sodium sulfate is going to have the mass that is equal to 142 grams. If I would have gone for only one molecule of Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate, value is going to be the same, but the unit is going to be U. That is also again a very small quantity, only one molecule. So measurement of one molecule or the mass of one molecule was very tedious task, next to impossible. So finally what did they do? They went for this mole concept, where 1 mole that was giving a good value of that particular substance in grams. Okay, in the similar way we can go for the ions, the masses calculation or the moles of the ions present in a particular substance calculation. Now once you have understood all these basic concepts, and even if we have to go to find out the various values given in a particular or been asked in a particular numerical, so we follow one specific formula. Now look what that formula is. N is equal to small m upon capital M, that is equal to N naught upon, small n only and then N A. Okay, now what does this mean? This N stands for number of moles. Sometimes they are being given in the numerical, or sometimes you have to calculate. Small m is mass given or to be calculated. Capital M is either the gram atomic mass or the gram molecular masses. Gram atomic mass and gram molecular mass. N is number of particles given or to be calculated, and Na is Avogadro number. Okay, so you will find that these are the fixed numbers, and these are either being given or to be calculated in the numerical. Now if I give you 3 numericals, let's only discuss about atoms first. Let's say how many moles of calcium equal to its 80 grams. Okay. Second, how many moles of calcium contain 18.066 into 10 raised to power 23 particles. Then how many grams of calcium equal to its 3 moles. Then how many particles of calcium equal to its 3 moles. How many particles, how many grams of calcium equal to its 18.022 into 10 raised to power 23 particles. Let's now start with. First, this particular formula can be divided into different parts. Now look, every numerical will be giving you two parts. How many moles? That means moles. Calcium equal to its 80 grams, that means mass. That means in this particular numericals, moles and grams are taken into consideration. Now look, number of moles, that means this, and this part is related to grams. I am not concerned about the particle. So your formula breaks into N is equal to M upon N. Now put the values, how many moles, that means this X has to be calculated, equal to 80 grams, that means 80 gram mass given, and here is the gram atomic mass, and we know the mass of the calcium is equal to 40 G. So cut it and you will find 2 moles. That becomes very easy. If you want to go for the unitary method, you will simply say 40 grams, because this is known to everybody. 40 grams of calcium will be equal to 1 mole. Then 80 grams of calcium will be equal to how many moles? So you can find the answer in 2 different ways. Next, how many moles of calcium, moles of calcium will contain these many particles. That means we are concerned about this and number of particles. We are not at all concerned about this area. So your formula is equal to N is equal to N upon Na. So they have given you 18.066 into 10 raised to power 23. This is Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. This we have to calculate. So Karthik, simply it will divide by 3, that means 3 moles. So simply then through the formula you can calculate the number of moles. Otherwise, if you want to follow the unitary method, you will say 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 particles are equal to 1 mole, and these many particles are equal to simply 3 moles. Okay. Now how many grams of calcium equal to 3 moles? How many grams of calcium equal to is 3 moles? That means we are concerned about the moles and we are concerned about the grams. So put values. N is equal to M upon capital M. How many grams? That means this has to be calculated. Put X here. And then calcium, gram atomic mass 40. And how many moles have been given? 3. Put X is equal to 3 into 40, that is 120 grams. Or simply if you want to go for the unitary method, write down 1 mole of calcium, because it is understood. 1 mole is equal to gram atomic mass. So 1 mole of calcium is equal to 40 grams. Then 3 moles equal to 40 into 3, that is 120 grams. Next, now look, how many particles, that means we are here, equal to 3 moles, that means here. So put this N is equal to N upon Na. Okay. Now, how many particles? That means we have to calculate this area. This Avogadro number is fixed. Okay. Na is fixed. 3 moles have been given. So, X is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 multiplied by 3. That means 3 Na is the answer to this question. Okay. Now look, how many grams of calcium equal to these many particles? How many grams? We are here and we are here. Because 2 things, mass and the number of particles have been taken into consideration. So let's take M upon capital M is equal to N upon Na. So put the value, how many grams? That means I have to calculate this area of calcium. Molar mass 40. This number is given to you, that is 18.022 into 10 raised to power 23. This Na is the fixed number, that is Avogadro number. So 3x is equal to 3 into 40, that is 120 grams. So I have taken in every way how to correlate the things. So whenever you find 2 particular things which have been mentioned in a numerical, pick up that part from this particular this formula and then try to solve the numericals. That will become a very easy and convenient process for you people. And if any one of you faces a problem with the formula, then you can go for the unitary method also. It is all up to you. The main thing is you should understand the concept which we want to tell you people through this video. I hope you must have understood that next time I will be coming up with the more and more numericals related to the molecules and how to solve all those through the same formula and then further to the ions. Till the time, watch this video at least twice to understand all the concepts clearly. Stay at home, stay safe, study hard. Bye.